Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Tired.
Yeah, tired. So for those of you who are watching this live,
And asking why it's Monday and not Sunday.
so many things have been happening.
Well, as you can see, there were little changes in the schedule of this month because we had to fit together all the activities and all the things
Very
we had
important
to do.
activities.
And yesterday we had our Christmas annual
Wine Club Christmas dinner,
yeah,
which was mostly wine.
it was a lot of wine.
So today we were like, what have we got? Oh, we have the big sexy today. Let's not drink anything except Coca-Cola Zero all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was our opportunity that we do every year. Hello, Kevin. Hi, Dad. To try some special wines. I think the photos, well, I'll upload them to my Instagram at some point. You can watch the story.
Yeah.
But we tried some mythical wines. But we didn't really have dinner. We had lunch.
No.
And then I just was
It
eating
was not necessary.
just sweets. Just eating like chuches.
It was a big lunch here in a classic restaurant here in Madrid, and the wines were amazing. Amazing. Actually, I drank the best wine I've ever drunk.
I think El Nido might
El Nido.
have been possibly the best wine I've ever had.
Yeah. And
This
it's
is
from
amazing as
my-
well, but
It's from my hometown.
yes. Well done, you.
Oh.
So, welcome back to the penultimate tasting of this amazing year we're all having. Now, before we one of my favourites. As per usual, there is a competition.
Yeah.
And if you follow the rules and you win the competition, you'll win a couple of prizes. So,
Yeah.
before we tell you about the amazing prizes, all you need to do is to take a photo. I know my parents have this wine, so I'm
Yes,
expecting a photo.
they should do it.
My parents are actually in the running to win the prize. And if they win that, I don't know how. Anyway, when they come over on the ferry,
Yes.
you have to take a photo of your tasting of the wine, of you and the wine, but with the wine. And we need to see it, so you need to do on Instagram @MadridDarraco or something like that. If we see it, we put your name down into a little lottery,
Yes.
and next month we'll draw the winner. What does the winner win?
Well, first there is a private tasting in one of our favorite Mentrida wineries called Arrayan, and they are gonna take care of you.
They'll murder you. They'll take care of you.
And the other prize is a notable
Oh Christ! There you go.
big 5 liters of wine bottle of Primero, the first wine of Toro.
You know, quite a few people in the last, because it's Christmas time and everyone's getting all of their booze, about 3 different people have said, how much is that? I'm like, it's not for sale. Because I don't know if we're going to have time to get another one of these.
It's huge.
It's full of wine. It's not a joke. I can't put that on one. Even with my hands, I can't put it on. So yes, we've already got a few people in the running. So if you want to have a chance of winning, photo,
Yeah.
hashtag us. And before we get underway, because we always ask this at the end, we're going to ask it now. Press the subscribe button.
Yes.
Press the little
Give us a like.
notification bell. It's embarrassing.
Press the bell.
We should be at home
Jingle
asleep
bells.
right now.
Jingle bells.
The other day I was asked by Roque, how would you translate jingle bells, jingle all the way? Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh into Spanish. And I was just like, "Buh." Buh.
Christmas is cancelled.
Yeah. This does not make any sense. Yeah. So, fun fact, don't try and translate Christmas songs.
Yeah. So welcome everybody. Hello, Mr. Darrakad.
Kevin's here as well.
I hope your wine is open and ready.
My parents would have had dinner 2 hours ago, probably. So. Right, so what are we drinking, Mr. Madrid? Show them the photo while I open
We
this.
are back to Ribera del Duero, where one of our favorite wine regions, to drink Valderiz. Actually, we are revisiting this region. We did it in the first box.
it Bardos?
No. We Viña Pedrosa, Cepa Gavilán.
Yes.
And now we are back. And the good reason is this time of the
wine.
year,
And
this
this wine, isn't it?
Christmas season.
Yeah, this is a very Christmas, it's a very Roque Madrid, vino que te abriga, wine that warms you up.
It was our choice for the Christmas dinner, and we want you to try a good Christmas dinner or Christmas lunch wine previous these dates.
Now, I like this wine for many reasons, but personally, so we had Oh God, I wasn't planning on drinking. We had already a couple of wines from this winery, the cheap ones, before we actually got this. And I remember one day, the winemaker came in, or the distributor came in for me to try this. That's all right, bye.
Sorry, bye.
And I was just trying all these wines, and I got to this one, and I started oohing and ahhing. So we were like, this is incredible. How much? Oh, great. Okay, great. Blah, 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 blah. Then we put it in the shop, and then fast forward a few months, which we'll talk about not yet, but fast forward a few months, and all of the reviews came out. Some of you who saw the Instagram story will see the reviews of this wine. And so I felt like I know what I'm talking about. Everyone agrees with me. But yes, so tasting sheets at the ready.
Yeah, so wine Valderiz, vintage 2017.
I think the 18 is also out now.
Yes.
think.
Actually,
Or it's coming
do you know
out?
that we had a bottle of 16? The other day I found a bottle of 16, one of the shelves.
Did someone buy it?
And I offer, someone came to buy it, and I say, okay, have a bottle of 16, 17 is the same price, and
We should have kept that for ourselves.
yeah, well,
Because these are the kind of wines that another year, even better maybe.
it's a bit better, yeah. Well, the vintage is 2017, grapes Tempranillo.
Or these guys use Tinto Fino. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
This is the grape of many names, but yeah, Tempranillo.
Alcohol.
And also remember in this vintage,
Oh, there is a
Yeah.
5% Albillo, sorry. 95 Tempranillo, 5%
I don't know if you can
Albillo.
see the names at the bottom there. This year they've spiced it up a little bit.
Yeah.
5% of Albio, which is a white grape. What? More on that later.
And producer is
Valderiz.
Bodegas Valderiz.
So this is, even though this is not their top wine, it's their sort of flagship Valderiz wine.
Yeah.
You know.
And the region is Ribera del Duero, the classic Derby Rioja Ribera. Wow,
I
this
know-
is Ribera.
I know I don't want to drink today, but that smells.
Smells
Cheers.
good, right? Cheers.
Smells incredible. Cheers, everyone.
Oh,
Those of you who
It's a
have the
big
wine,
wine.
this is a big boy.
Yeah.
This is the big boy. Those of you who have got this wine or have tried this wine, feel free to also write what you guys can smell or you guys remember smelling or your thoughts about it. It's just a lot of wine. Whoa. Okay,
here it is.
so where do we begin with? The color.
Well, the color.
It's very dark.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color. Dark. How do you say color? What is the color Bordeaux? Bordeaux color?
Bordeaux color. I was watching a review of this wine the other day. It's a fantastic American guy, and he was like, "This is the color of a wine if you've just killed a wild bull, no, a wild boar. It's like blood color." And I don't know if you can see it, those of you who have the wine, but it's very thick,
Yeah.
and the color sticks on the glass. This has got quite a lot of pigmentation to it, which means I don't know exactly how they've made it, but I imagine they've macerated it. They did a cold maceration before they fermented it. You've got a lot of colour and it sticks to the glass, which is not as common as you'd think with red wines, but it really is a thick.
Yeah, it tints the.
It really does, yeah. It
tints
keeps it pink.
Yeah, it color the glass actually.
Oh man, that smells. This is.
Well, so intensity of the color 75 stars. It's clear and clean.
Thank God. It'd be really embarrassing if this was like had a problem. Like no.
Well, the aromas.
There's a lot going on.
What do you get here, guys?
The good thing is, this has had 20 months in oak, but it's not very oaky. This is part of this very successful kind of modern style of Ribera del Duero. A lot of the fruit comes through, which is lovely. Dark fruits,
Yeah.
but there is wood. It's balsamic-y, it's kind of spicy. It's
You
meaty.
get chocolate. You get chocolate here, and a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah, you do get a bit of vanilla. Yeah,
But
like
it's
Fabio said,
also-
lots of dark
there-
fruit.
there is also
He's definitely not drinking today.
There is something like balsamic here as well.
Yeah, it is a bit balsamic. It's kind of yeah. And for me, it's kind of quite meaty, quite carnoso. It's kind of
What do you think?
without wanting to. I know this is 2020, and I hope I don't offend anyone. Ooh, but it's quite what I would traditionally think of quite a masculine manly wine.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Spain, I think of like old men in dusty wine bars eating lamb and drinking this.
Yeah, well, that's a very machista
Yeah.
point of view.
I'm gonna be cancelled. Which is not to say
I would say it's more a wine for a big lunch or
Yeah.
for. But I'm pretty sure a lot of women love a big lunch,
Yes.
so that would be their wine as well.
What is funny is this feels small in comparison to El Nido that we had yesterday, which was the hugest wine. But anyway, this has also got 15% alcohol, so you're going to notice a bit of the warmth in your nostrils as well.
Yeah, 15%. There is a tendency nowadays of reducing a little bit the alcohol content in Ribera del Duero
Disgusting behaviour.
to franchise a little bit.
To Frenchify the wines. Yeah, this is happening quite a lot. The guy who came today with that lovely Rueda wine, because he said he has a Ribera del Duero, he said, it's muy fresco, and I was like, why do you do that? Not in a jokey way, I was like, why will you do that? We all buy into this style of a brand, you know, and then you change it to something which it is not. Now, that doesn't mean the wine isn't nice, but if I buy blind, I don't know, if I buy a Ribera, I don't want a little light fresco. I want a big meaty.
Yeah, they're losing alcohol content, something that
And body.
Yes,
Which I suppose is part of it.
something you need to look for in Toro now. These characteristics.
Listen, in the same way, if I drink a red wine from Ribeira Sacra, I don't want somebody to say, so we made a 15% heavily oaked mint. I'm like, but that's not what I want from a Ribeira Sacra. I want a crisp mineral one. So I don't know. I know it's people wanting to try things new, which is fine. But I want my Ribera to taste like maybe I'm old fashioned, but I want my Riberas to be Riberas like this.
You think the market is demanding this French touch in Ribera?
I think it's everyone, as in statistically,
maybe the international market.
not the Americans though. The Americans like big sexy.
Yeah.
But I think the European market and the Spanish market maybe. Well, it's easier. It's an easier thing to sell. Something lighter. If you say, I've got two wines here. One is 15.5% alcohol, huge, profound, muscular, but this one's a lot easier to drink. That one will be probably the easier to sell to the average public. I don't know. So controversial. Right,
So,
the palate.
Quality complex is complex.
Super complex.
Well, let's go for the palate, for the mouth. What do you taste here? It's juicy, but it's so intense.
Wow. So you get a little bit of the heat from the booze. You get these thick, smooth, what they call grippy tannins, which is one of those hallmarks of Ribera del Duero. And a lot of juiciness.
Yeah, it's juicy.
It's really juicy.
And I could say it has like a little sweet note somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's what you get in these. Well, fun fact. Are you ready? Naturally attained high alcohol in wines, for example, Nido and Alto Moncayo Garnacha, when you have a naturally high level of alcohol, not fortified, but naturally high, the alcohol mimics the same concept in your palate as a sweetness.
Okay.
So, for example, when we have Godina, people go, it's almost a bit sweet. And it's not sweet, there's no sugar, but that alcohol affects you the same way. It's really interesting. David, yes, very warm, blackberry, vanilla for sure. Maybe a little sweet pipe. Ooh, sweet pipe tobacco.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine like an old farmer on it. Sweet pipe tobacco. Yeah, it has got a bit of that kind of cigar boxy thing, isn't it?
Do you think it's balanced?
Yes, I do. Everything is where it should be. Very harmonious. I do think it is. This winery has a few wines. We've tried, I won't say their names. Well, I can do. We've tried a few, we've had all of their wines
All
at
of
one
them.
point. Their top one is called Tomás Esteban, named after the man who set it up. The one above this is called Juega Bolos, which is a funny name. And then you have the one which is similar price. This is 21, and there's De Chiripa, which is about 17. I think this is a lot better than Chiripa.
Yeah,
It's more
I
balanced,
agree with
more
you.
deep, it's more interesting, I think. Chiripa's fine. But this one, I think for the price, well, again, we'll talk about how popular the wine is in a minute, but for the price, I think this is astonishing. Yeah.
Pairing. Well,
Easy peasy. Give me that dead animal.
charcuterie, red meat,
Put that dead animal in the oven.
rice, Iberian ham.
Yeah, I wouldn't have this with ham. I want dead Spanish roasted meats. Ham.
I don't care.
I don't care
if
what it
it's
is.
an animal
Put it in the
or a
frickin' oven.
person.
That's fine. Hey man, it's the same thing. We're all animals. This for me is one of these things. When I say, actually, I had a tasting recently. We were talking about this. We were sort of people who lived in Spain, like me, guiris, expats, and we were talking about all of our favorite Spanish food and wine experiences that we're looking forward to doing when we can travel again. And I was saying some of my favorites are sitting out on a plaza near the sea in Galicia, eating seafood and drinking albariño. Going pincho bar hopping either in La Rioja or in Basque Country. Going around the tabancos, the sherry bars of Jerez, and drinking a bottle of Ribera del Duero in some, like yesterday, in a big asador roasting restaurant. It's just one of those uniquely Spanish, like, this just works.
Yeah.
So I think for me, roasted meats in this is just perfect.
Great. So, well,
Great! Anyway.
can we go for the glass?
Big.
The big.
These aren't big enough, I
The
don't
big
think.
one. Temperature 16, 17%.
Yeah.
Percent, I said.
Percent.
Degrees. And the price, 21?
21.20.
21.20.
I've sold so many of these.
21.20. It's not
It's not a cheap wine.
it's not a cheap wine, but
It's worth it.
It's a wine for a special occasion. I think we are living in special times now.
Right.
Well, where should we begin?
So we've got a few things to talk about.
Well, have we mentioned the aging of the months?
Oh, so this is, I've got it here because it's hard to remember.
20 months, right?
20 months of aging.
20 months. 20 months.
That is a long time. So this winery, they do lots of intricate interplay of stuff. So you have 80% of their oak is French, 20% of it is American. So this is wine that's had 20 months in oak. 60% of all the oak they have is new oak. So 40% of it is first use. So you have two different styles of wood of two different ages, and it's had 20 months in it. There's quite a lot of stuff going on. It's also quite creamy. This has had 50% of the wine has had malolactic fermentation, which is not fermentation, it's conversion. But anyway, that's when it really annoys me. It's like because people get confused. They go, but that fermentation. You're like, not at all.
Yeah.
You're not fermenting anything. But it's when lactic acid, which is the smooth stuff, is obtained by converting malic acid, the acidic stuff, into lactic. So it's had a bit of smoothness as well.
You become very irritated when you hear that.
If someone says,
I've
I've turned the tables over.
it's probably that's why maybe you are single.
Well,
Next.
that's not one of the many reasons. Also, these guys do spontaneous fermentation.
Yeah.
So they don't add any yeasts. Now, this is not a full-blown like bio wine, but they use a lot of biodynamic and organic practices in the winery, which is quite easy to do in Ribera del Duero because it's, well, Roque will talk about the region, it's a very dry area.
Yeah.
So it's kind of perfect for this kind of low chemical intervention winemaking. It's a very clean wine. And what else could I say? Well, the winery itself is, I think we've got some photos of the vineyards. There's literally no photos of the actual winery, but one of these is that's the only one you can find. It's really weird. So I don't know what the winery looks like, but this is just outside. It's like it's secret. And that's, there you are. That's Thomas Esteban. This is the guy who opened it. So this is his winery, family run. It's now his two sons because he's retired. He's this wonderful old chap here. We've got a photo of him plucking his Tempraneros. Okay, sweet man. So this is a sort of the classic Spanish story, a nice family-run winery from the Thomas has passed it on to his sons. They run it now. I think it's Juan and Ricardo.
Yep.
Really nice guys, actually. But yes, this is modern in many ways, even though it's also very traditional. So when we say traditional, often we think of an old winery. This is not. The spirit is quite old, but a lot of the practices are kind of modern. I'll shut up now.
So, should we tell about the region now? Ribera del Duero?
Yeah, so for those of you who missed the Ribera del Duero one, listen up, because this is, apart from Rioja, maybe the most important region you need to know about.
Yeah, Don España. So, pick up your maps. If you don't have these beautiful map that you get for free with your box of wine, and you can buy the big version.
Shall we show them?
Yes, of course.
It just came in. Oh,
sorry.
Christ alive. Hot off the press today.
Help me,
Look at that. Give me your money, you fools. We've got our big version now.
So, if you don't have that beautiful map, maybe you can use this one in the meantime. Well, Ribera del Duero is that highlighted region between the provinces of Burgos, Valladolid, Segovia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that?
I did know that.
There is a little winery in Segovia that belongs to
Carovejas?
Muron.
Oh.
Severino Sanz.
Oh, where's Carovejas?
Carovejas is
Oh, no,
Peñafiel.
I'm thinking of Ocean, sorry.
Yeah.
Ignore me, yes, Muron.
Yes, as always, we should ignore you. And sorry. So, well, the weather, as Luke said, it's continental weather, very
intense.
very intense, very extreme, very hot in the summer, but the winters are cold.
It's like
and
me.
there is a super extreme change of temperatures between day and night, and that's what gives more character and more personality to the grapes that grows there. The range of grapes you can use in this region is super limited.
Yeah.
Whites only Albillo.
And officially, this year.
This year, yeah.
Before, you weren't even allowed to have a white Ribera del Duero.
But you could use the white.
You
Not
could, yeah.
make it white, but use the white as they
we
do
have
in
here.
this wine.
Yeah.
And the reds are Tinta del País or Tempranillo, but there is known as Tinta del País.
Yeah, which is like the inkiness, the ink of the country. Sounds a bit weird.
Garnacha, Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, and Merlot. But these varieties are used in small proportions always. And the reds are, well, by far par excellence of this denomination. Normally, this is a great example of what you should expect from a Ribera del Duero wine.
I think, have a little look. I think I found some photos of the countryside to show people as well. One of these is the countryside ones. Have a little look. Yeah, there we go. This is shows you how dry it can be. So yeah, Ribera del Duero is Spain in a nutshell. Meseta, high plains. And you can see this dry soil here, just kind of baked earth. This is why it's perfect for the grapes, especially Tempranillo. Octavio del País. Now, this one is Tempranillo with a bit of Albillo, but 5% Albillo. It's not uncommon to find white grapes in reds. In the Rhone, you find Viognier gets co-fermented in to reds. It can add a bit of freshness and a bit of lightness, a little sprinkling. So we're not going to get like, oh, I love the Albillo. You're not going to smell it, but it will just freshen it up. The good thing about Ribera, with this incredibly intense climate, like Roque said, and a lot of the regions, just looking at the map, you've got Arlanza is similar, Toro, Rueda, all these sort of continental plain ones. The cool nights and the cold winter, but the cool nights help maintain the acidity. Again, acidity is key, and I always have to state, acidity is always there from the beginning, and it will go down as your grapes get riper and the sugar goes up. So the warmer it is, the more they'll ripen, and the quicker you'll lose acidity, which is why in the southeast of Spain, traditionally, wines could be jammy and flat.
Yeah.
In Ribera del Duero, it's kind of like, because you get a lot of heat, and in the day, it's just like, ripening, and they'll sort of slow down at night.
Yeah, you can lose 20 degrees in one day. It's
crazy.
It's crazy.
Let's check the acidity.
Don't do that.
Yep, salivating like a weirdo in a park. This is the key, especially for wines like Ribera, where they can be very tannic and very heavy. You need that acidity to help balance it out. Fun fact as well about Ribera del Duero, which I only found out last year, I think. It was initially conceived as a denominación de origen for rosé wine.
Yep.
And because next door you have Cigales, which is famous for rosé. And I guess someone went, Jose, have you tried this red? Maybe we don't do rosé. Maybe we do reds. Okay. So it was actually not. It was kind of, I guess.
We have beautiful rosés from there. We have Rosalito, but we have the super expensive one, 1076. Today I saw one today.
Which one? That one in the box?
The one in the box upstairs.
Oh, thank God.
No. It's around 50, more than 50 euros.
A bottle of pink. That's a hard one to push. Well done. I'm looking for a wine for good. Please take that. So yeah.
Well, the production of Ribera del Duero is 67 million liters of wine. That's a lot of wine.
That's quite big.
It's not as big as Rioja, of course, or not even Cava. It's not close to those, but it's very big. It's very productive. 67. Okay, which percentage of those wines remain in the country, and which percentage?
I think this is going to be quite close because Ribera del Duero is powerful as a brand now. I'm going to say 60 national, 40 international.
60 national? No, 82 national, 18% international market. So it's a super.
Wow.
We are very proud of our.
Yeah, they're not letting it
it's
go.
a very national.
I would have thought more Ribera was out there.
No, not that much.
Because that actually, interestingly, relates.
Well,
to
18% of 67 million liters is a couple of bottles.
Yeah, but that's not, I thought it'd be more. That's interesting. Because that almost relates a little bit to this guy's question. We have a question from Kenny for a little bit, but that's interesting. I thought it would be more.
Yeah.
Right.
So, should we talk now a little bit about the grape Tempranillo?
Nah.
Okay. No.
Just
tell us about you.
I'm not going to go into
Tell
much.
us more about you.
No. It's even less interesting than Tempranillo. No, Tempranillo. I mean, I'm not going to talk. I don't want to talk too much about Tempranillo because we've done Tempranillo quite a lot in our tastings. It's you talk about Rioja, you talk about Toro, you talk about Ribera. We've done all these. You talk about Tempranillo. Tempranillo is easily the king of the Spanish grapes,
but not the most planted.
but not the most planted. The most planted is
Bobal.
no. There's more Tempranillo than
It's
Bobal.
more Tempranillo than
But
Bobal?
it's close.
Very close, right?
But the king also in reputation.
Okay.
I love to blow people's mind when I say, you know Garnacha? And they go, oh, claro, sí. I'm like, do you know Bobal? I go, wait, no. They're like, well, Bobal's number 2. And they're like, what? But yeah, Bobal, Garnacha, Tempranillo, these are kind of the big triumvirate of Spanish grapes. Airen, obviously of all the grapes, the most planted. But it's there is a reason it's popular. Half of that is climatic. This is so boring. Half of that is climatic happenstance. And the other half is historical. So, on one hand, Tempranillo, you really, apart from in certain places, you really find it mostly in the harsher plains. A lot of the southern La Mancha kind of areas, and that sort of bandolier band from Navarra to Rioja, down to sort of almost the Portuguese border. Tempranillo quite likes that because it's an early ripening grape. And so with these drier areas, these harsher areas, you get a nice growing season out of it. So they can achieve very high potential as grapes. Also, little word, I think it's called Rioja? Rioja? We cannot underestimate the usefulness
Yep.
for that grape of Rioja as a region. It's almost become synonymous, even though Tempranillo is everywhere. People often say, "Oh, I love a Tempranillo from Rioja," or "I love a Rioja Tempranillo." So you've got this sort of double whammy where it's a very good grape in general, but it's adapted well to where it is. And on the other hand, some of the regions where it is are just also quite usefully important.
Yeah.
And breathe.
Well, it's the most important regions are these, Rioja and Ribera. You have Tempranillo almost everywhere in Spain, but also in other countries, right?
So in Portugal, it's called Tintaroriz.
U.S., right?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently in California. Apparently, yes. In California, I was. Someone brought me, though I never saw it. They came from here last year, but I never saw the. In Texas Hills, near Austin, Texas, they have
In the Central Valley,
yeah.
California.
Oh, Central Valley, California, find all kinds of crap. But yeah, it's
But you have also in Oregon.
Tempranillo in Oregon.
Yeah.
That would be weird. I think Australia. I mean, the New World, Chile, Argentina, you'll find it.
Peru.
No.
Yeah.
What?
You have Tempranillo in Peru as well.
I don't have anything in Peru. Peruvian. I gotta try that.
Peruvian wine.
I want to try a Peruvian. So,
Have you ever tried Peruvian wine?
anyone in the comments who's had it? Also, Mexico, I think, has lots of Tempranillo.
But I mean,
Australia will have it. It's an easy grape to sell, I guess, by Spanish standards. I mean, Garnacha is Spanish, but Tempranillo, it's kind of known as a word, and there's lots of places in the world which can do it. I don't think France. I'm looking at my map. I don't think France has any, and Italy, I don't think.
No, I'm not sure. No, I've never.
It'd probably be called like El Pequettino Balodo or something. I don't know what that was. I think I just had a stroke.
And it's a grape with a lot of names.
Absurd numbers.
Well, if you once read Tinta del País or Tinta de Toro, or which other names?
Cencibel.
Cencibel or Sensibel.
Cencibel. Ul de Liebre, the eye of the hare.
Yeah.
In Catalonia.
Here
Look at that list of names.
I have
What the hell? We found the list. Araúja.
Aragon.
Aragonés in Portugal, yeah.
Yeah. Arganda, Arinto, Cencibel.
Chinchiaza.
Chinchillano, Cupani, Escobera.
Okay, that is absurd.
Grenache from Logroño.
Garnacha de Logroño. That's retarded. Stupid.
So, and then it has hundreds of names. So
That's great.
it's more known as Tempranillo, but if you
Interesting there's one. So in California, it might be called Valdepeñas. And in Valdepeñas, you find a lot of Tempranillo. It's interesting, and they're terrible.
and you find a grape called Sonoma,
Aquí hacemos
and
los
that
vinos con-
closes the cycle.
And then synergy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so it's a very chameleonic grape. So it can be under any name. So beware. Maybe you're drinking Tempranillo and you don't know.
It says Chinchianano. Before we move on to a question, just to bring Valderiz to a close, I mentioned that it had some very good reviews. Now, when Rocky and I order wines and try new wines, I don't want to say we don't care, but by this I mean the most important thing is that we like the wine.
Yeah.
So if you say, oh, but such and such a person says it's 95, and we go, yeah, but we don't like it. We don't sell it. We are not a big shop. We can be picky. However, when there is a wine that we like, and it also has good reviews, we're like, oh yeah, we're good. So we put this in the shop, started selling it, and then I said, so a month later, the reviews came out. Sorry. James Suckling, one of the big boy Main Wine Critics of America, 94 points. My good friend in my head, Tim Atkins, a British Master of Wine, 94 points.
94.
Robert Parker's Wine Spectator, 96 points. The Guia de Gourmet, the Gourmet Guide of Spain, 97 points.
Yeah.
And it also got an award for the best wine in the world for under $50.
We were right with this wine when we chose it.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It has been confirmed once after other.
But it makes me kind of proud that the Spanish wine has that.
Yeah.
All these amazing opinions. Okay, by Spanish standards, sort of mid to high price, but really not an expensive bottle of wine in the world of wine.
Valderiz is a way from the 20 euros range to try to pick a little bit of the tops.
Yeah, it's like,
To have a side of what the tops are.
yeah, it's a good idea. It's like a little gateway, a little bent down little window into what can happen. Now we have a question, Mr. Madrid.
You said
Kenny.
Kenny.
I don't know where he's from. I think he said he lived in the south of Spain.
Oh, really?
I think Malaga or something. But I don't know where he's from. Kenny could be.
A lot of Americans in Malaga.
It's disgusting. I'm just joking. We love your money. Kenny, yeah, I don't know where he is. I mean, my family friend's daughter's husband is called Kenny, and he's from Scotland, so it could be anywhere. But anyway, Kenny says, when I'm in a Spanish bar, I always get offered Rioja or Ribera. What is the right answer? It's quite a fun question.
Well,
It's a fun little question.
well.
Oh, Kenny! What a bemusing question there.
It's a smart boy.
It's a good question. Because they're both great regions. Sorry, it's a force of habit. Get away from me.
Today was a long day. I have an answer for Kenny.
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 If you're listening, Kenny.
The question is more personal.
Oh, God.
When a waiter asks you Ribera or Rioja, he's asking you something very personal. What kind of person are you?
What kind of man are you, Kenny? What are you made of, Kenny?
Can you please let me finish my thoughts?
Good luck with that.
So, are you a person that prefer more medium body, classic style, more French style wine, or you prefer something more, boozy, or more full body, a little bit more alcoholic maybe? I think you can divide the whole humanity in these two kind of people.
Well, that's a big statement. In 2020, that is a big statement. I'm pretty sure you can just do 50-50.
Yes. You can divide the humanity in these two big groups. The medium body guys or the full body guys.
Why did you point at me when you said full body?
So, Rioja is the answer for the first ones, and Ribera would be the answer for the second ones. And I think
Sorry, it's a very deep answer.
yeah, that's all I have to say.
Well, my answer was Ribera's the right answer.
No, yeah, that's unfair.
No, but you know why? You know me, I love Rioja. I love Rioja. My love of wine probably started with me drinking Rioja in university because I could afford it. But Ribera, I would say, because he says, when I'm in a Spanish bar and I get offered, I'm imagining, he's gone, hola, vino tinto, and they go, vale, Rioja or Ribera? They just go, boom, boom. I instinctively go for Ribera del Duero, not because of the style, because I love both, but because there's only not even 300 wine producers in Ribera del Duero, but there's hundreds and hundreds in Rioja, and there's lots of wine in Rioja. There is some Ribera, but statistically, if you're just shooting in the dark, you might get a better quality Ribera del Duero compared to a Rioja if you don't know the bodegas,
Okay.
There's no €2.50 Ribera del Duero.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, Roque is correct if you're checking the styles. But I would say if you're just wanting a nice glass of tinto and you don't know, I love in Spain. Yo tiro a por, I lean towards Ribera.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong.
So, what do you think about the wine?
No, there's no one left here.
Is everybody sleeping?
Everyone's
there?
sleeping.
Well,
Dave was the
Michel.
last person to talk. That was 25 minutes ago. Everyone's just enjoying the show. So, we have one more wine this year. On the 29th.
Yeah, that would be the sparkling wine.
Going to go out with a bang.
It's going to be our chance of saying goodbye to this wonderful year.
I've really
2020.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's been a real fun year.
It has been very interesting.
Illuminating, if you will.
Yes. It has changed our lives.
It's been great. Oh, God.
2020. Who is going to forget this? The wine is excellent. Thank you very much, Fabio. It is, actually. I chose it.
No, I chose it.
I chose it.
For the box.
For the box.
Ah, yes. I chose it for the shop. So we both win. Good on us. But yeah, so we will join you on the 29th for some bubbles. And yeah.
Thank you.
Get yourself...
Lorena.
And get yourself some nice aperitivos because it's going to be a perfect wine for any kind of nibbles. Merry Christmas, chicos. Oh yeah, of course. Merry Christmas, everyone. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. We have to be very political these days. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Wherever you are, whatever you are. Happy holidays, yeah.
Oh, I miss Hanukkah again.
So, that's all from us. Remember to take your photos of your tastings. Put them on your internets.
Yes.
Subscribe and like.
Subscribe.
all that
Give us
kind of
likes now. Don't leave it for tomorrow.
So shameful.
Don't say, because I know you. You're planning, okay, tomorrow morning, I will wake up, I will put a like. No. Do it now.
It's almost more pathetic if they're planning to wake up in the morning. Oh,
Thank
there's
you.
Frederick.
More.
You'd be a very good terrorist.
Yes.
Or negotiator. One or the other. Do it now. I'm not, yeah.
More likes.
Right. Okay, that's enough. This is embarrassing now. Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, cheers, Kevin. So, we hope you enjoyed the wine. We hope you enjoyed this penultimate tasting. And I guess we'll bid a good night to these poor souls on this chilly Monday evening.
Yes, and I see you...
In a week.
It's going to be, it's here.
29th.
December.
Yeah.
Which day is that? Which date of the week?
Who cares? Wednesday, I think.
Is it?
I don't remember.
Okay. See you.
Merry Christmas.
Take care.